Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode. I'm excited to be here with you guys today to talk about the 8 roles that are played in a real estate syndication. If you've heard this term real estate syndication thrown out a lot, it is because it's become a very popular item since the Job Act was passed in 2012, which basically allows Main Street, aka mom and pop investors, to pool their funds together to buy large assets like commercial buildings, apartments, multifamily units, retail strip centers, investments that used to be reserved for deep pocket investors in Wall Street. So Main Street's getting a piece of the action. And here today, I want to go over the 8 roles that are played in real estate syndication. And hey, if you're somebody who is thinking about investing, if you've thought about creating passive income from real estate, if you're thinking about building a legacy, making an impact, and retiring, head on over to our website, hbgcapital.net. Check out the educational resources. We've got a book, 100 questions busy business owners should be asking before investing. Pick that up. Avoid making a bad investment. It's completely free. You got no risk. There's no strings attached. All right. So jumping in here, I want to go over the 8 roles that are involved in a real estate syndication and the reason for them. The number one first role is the sponsor. So the sponsor is usually a person or company who initiates a deal and takes on the responsibility of acquiring and managing the property. We are a sponsor in a lot of our deals. We go out, we find the deal, we rezone the property, we build the value into it, we deal with the cities, we deal with the entitling, we deal with the headaches, and then we oversee the construction of the asset, we oversee the sale of the asset. So we're the sponsor. We're directly involved in the management and acquisition of that asset. The second one, sometimes this is involved, sometimes it's not, is the syndicator. This is the person or company who organizes and structures the deal. Sometimes they can raise the capital from investors and oversee the syndication process. So you really have like these two parties in the syndication world. You've got people who are really good at raising money. That's part of their business model. They've got those relationships. It takes time to court and build those relationships and build that trust with the investors. There's usually sponsors. And then you've got like the operators who are really good at like managing and finding deals. And some people are vertically integrated like we are, but you've got a market where there's a lot of these operators who are trying to find sponsors because the operators have the deals and sponsors have the money and both of them need each other. So the syndicator can be involved in, raising the capital for the deal, structuring the deal, and overseeing the syndication process. Sometimes this can be a broker. Brokers exist too. Brokers have a special license that allows them to raise money for other people's real estate deals. Number 3 is the investors. So these are the individuals or entities who provide the capital for the deal, either through equity or debt financing. So we've got debt deals where we make investors the bank on the deal. We pay them a higher interest rate than what the banks pay. We get better terms than what the banks offer and timelines. We've done equity deals where investors are partners in the deal with us, and they get a piece of the pie and a preferred return. So it just depends. No particular one is better than the other. Usually debt is seen as being less risky, so it usually pays less, and equity's seen sometimes as being higher risk, so it pays more. So it just depends on what your strategy is, what your terms are, and what you're needing. The 4th is going to be the property manager. Also can be the like construction company or the company that's like managing rents or the person who's actually building the asset. It's the person or company responsible for basically managing the day-to-day operations, whatever that means. If it's an apartment complex, it could be tenants, turnover, repairs. If it's a development deal, it could be the contractor who is involved or who is overseeing the contractor. So it just depends, but most of the time it's some kind of manager of the property or the asset. Number 5 is the attorney. This is the legal professional. He's going to handle the legal aspects of the deal, including reviewing and drafting all the legal documents, helping you negotiate terms and ensuring compliance with the laws and regulations. I can't stress that last point enough. There are a lot of fly-by-night attorneys out there who only want to answer your calls after you've sent them money. The good attorneys will give you a platform to say what you need and vet them. I mean, it is hard to find good attorneys out there. They're an interesting bunch to work with. And believe me, you want to work with a really good attorney, but you want to make sure with somebody who has your interest at heart, knows the laws and regulations around these type of syndications, and has a proven track record for it. I love referrals, people who've been referring people. That's like who we currently use. A ton of other investors use them and have spoken very highly of them. Number 6 is the accountant. This is the professional responsible for basically managing the financial aspects of the deal, including preparing financial statements, tracking income and expenses, and reporting to investors. So you want to know where the money is at all times and how the asset's doing. These are what I call your success dials, right? You fly an airplane, you need dials to tell you where you're going to fly the airplane. You need financial dials to be able to see how the asset's doing. The 7th person involved is the appraiser. This is the professional responsible for determining the value of the property before and after. And the role is very, very important. I mean, appraisers have killed deals before, because it didn't appraise, the before and the after of it. So it's very important you get an appraisal of the property to make sure it's a good deal. And you ask to see that appraisal from whoever you're investing with, or if you're doing a syndication deal with somebody else, you always want to see the appraisal. And 8, and finally, is the lender. This is the entity providing the financing for the deal, either through, we do a lot of local banks personally, or there could be some alternative financing options. There's hard money loans or crowdfunding. The investor could also be the lender if it's a debt deal. We've done that, but the lender is basically who puts up most of the financing, usually in the form of debt, to get the deal done. Those are the 8 parties involved in a real estate syndications. Hey, if you've got more questions around this, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to answer your questions. Till next time.